Alright, welcome to chapter case number 4. This is Thomas Weaver, and we'll be going over the Facebook privacy. What privacy? So, a little case introduction. Facebook is a grand gateway to connections and networking with millions of people and companies. This is one of the very first popular social media websites to make its way to the internet. However, no matter how helpful and vital to society it seems to be, there's one huge problem: privacy and personal information distribution. So here's the big problem. Facebook has been collecting its users' personal and private data for years. However, not once was it specified in the agreements that the user's information would be sold and distributed to advertisers in order to advertise specific products and services to specific audiences without their knowledge by collecting data about the patterns and uses of the Facebook website. So here's a little bit of reasoning for the information distribution on Facebook's part. So Facebook's claim is that it's free and it always will be. And because of this facet, there's really no money that's being generated from the users themselves. So in order to stay afloat, like Google, Facebook primarily makes its money from advertisements and the like. And this means that without distribution of information and advertisements, there would be no Facebook. Unless, of course, they switched over to making Facebook a subscription-based service. So here's a little bit of a couple drawbacks. This pretty much leaves us watching a standoff between users of Facebook and the people who run Facebook. Most people are blatantly unaware that their data is being distributed, and the rest are aware and just upset, taking not really any action. And there is a small percentage of users that are taking action. Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg are fully aware and are making conscious efforts to conceal user privacy, yet at the end of the day, they need to make money somehow to stay afloat. So now we'll go over the case study questions. Perform an ethical analysis of Facebook. What is the ethical dilemma presented in this case? After performing an ethical analysis of Facebook and reading the case study, I've concluded that the ethical dilemma is an outright invasion of personal privacy. Facebook originally specified that the private information entered into the website would be kept private within the Facebook's private archives. Yet here we are, years later, observing Mark Zuckerberg in court for the exact thing that was specified wouldn't happen. What's the relationship of privacy to Facebook's business model? As mentioned earlier, Facebook has built its structure around the use of selling private information, so the relationship with privacy is pretty direct. The more information they sell and distribute, the more money to be made. Describe the weaknesses of Facebook's privacy policies and features. What people, organization, and technology factors have contributed to those weaknesses? So probably the biggest weakness of Facebook's privacy policy and features is that, one, they're more difficult to comprehend than government policies or typical bank credit card agreements, which are actually pretty dense typically. And then two, the policies really aren't even privacy policies at all, because a user's information is open to be sold to any advertisers. So there's not really much privacy to be had there. Will Facebook be able to have a successful business model without invading privacy? Explain your answer. Could Facebook take any measures to make this possible? Personally, I don't believe that Facebook could be able to hold itself up without invading privacy, unless they were able to figure out a way to make it a subscription-based service that is both financially feasible for users and still keeps profits at the same level as they are now for the company. Otherwise, this corporation is just going to fall pretty quick. The book speaks briefly on measures currently being taken by Facebook, such as privacy conferences and hiring privacy experts who can go over where you're falling short in your privacy department, as well as where you can improve. So in conclusion, Facebook's privacy policies are a very slippery slope, and I doubt we'll be able to make much progress and headway in the direction we want, simply because of how vital Facebook has become to normal people's everyday lives, as well as many business connection and networking opportunities. Probably the best way to really get Zuckerberg's attention would to be boycotting Facebook for a while, at least until they can devise a means for protecting information. Thanks for listening. This is Thomas Weaver.